Welcome back to DIY RV and Home with Greg. Got some projects in the truck I'm going to do today. First, I've got a power outlet in my center console that I'm going to go ahead and replace out with a dual USB plug. Now this is a dual 2.1 amp, so both of them get supplied with the 2.1 amps themselves. And then at the same time, while I'm in there, I've got some additional electronics that I'm going to be powering up, and I need to have a plug for those. So I've got a backup camera, and then I also just picked up a dash cam, and so I need to run power for that. So what I'm going to do is, while I got this the console tore apart, I'm going to go ahead and tap into the same supply that I'm doing the USB plug with, and I'll put that in place. Now I have a 25 amp fuse on this, so I'm not going to be pulling enough amps with the USB to overload the circuit with all the different electronics that I got on there. For the most part, what you're going to have is two cell phones being charged from the USB adapter in the console, operating the monitor for the backup camera on my trailer, and then also running the dash cam. So I'm going to show you on what I'm doing to get this done. Here we go. So first thing we're going to do is get to the screws. So I can get this out. There is a trim bezel around the dash, and you just want to be careful as you slowly pry it up. So I want to get that out of the way. Once you get those two screws out, pick this up. Be able to take that off real easy. Now I got to go get some sockets and come right back to you. Alright, for me to get this tray out, it's a 7mm. Okay, it's free. So right there, got the plug. Should be able to just press down to release. All right. We've got that up now. As you can see, the line's already been tapped before, and actually right now I have tapped to run my monitor for my backup camera. So I'm going to go ahead and clean all that up, and then I'm going to mount this, the dual plug, somewhere around down here so it's out of the way, but I can still utilize it. So once I get that set up, get everything figured out, I'll get back with you. All right, here's the back side of the plug. And now there was 2 little tabs, one on either side. I depressed and pressed through. They actually broke off when I did that, which that's all right because I'm not going to reuse this one. And then here's the new one, the new plug that I'm going to put in. It is a little too big to fit in the hole right now, so I'm going to go ahead and have to clean that hole up real quick, and then we'll get that put in. All right, so what I'm going to be doing is running a rasp around that, and it's almost there, so it's not going to take too much. I'm using a rotary rasp. You can use a regular file, round file, to do it. I'm just going to give it a little bit, test it, a little bit, test until it fits nice. So there's the plug installed, and this has a nut for the back of it. So now what I'll do is make sure it's level. Tighten it up. I'll go get a wrench, put just a little bit of pressure on it, not too much. Okay. There it is, make sure it looks level. There we go. So I'm just going to put a little bit of silicone on the threads, and then just a touch of silicone right down here. I'm not worried about the color because it's going to be hidden, but that just kind of helps for vibration if it does decide to want to try to loosen up. Okay, we'll move back over the truck and we'll start getting the wiring all prepared and everything like that to get this put in. Alright, so I bypassed a lot of the boring stuff, the soldering of the wires together and heat shrinking. So here I've got the positive negative going to the center console USB. Then I went ahead and wrapped tape around, and I've got this going to the USB plug and adapter that's going to be underneath the console with the secondary wires to tap into the other one. Like I say, this whole system is going to be less than 10 amps max, so I'm going to be well within the safe limits, working limits of this wires and this circuit. It's just that I'm kind of splitting it up. So I'm going to get some more done. I'll bring you back and show you my progress. Okay, so another tip, because I went and ran my electrical tape all the way up and it was all black, I couldn't tell which one was positive, negative. I went ahead and used my continuity tester, found my positive, went ahead and labeled it as positive. So now when I do go to plug it in, I know exactly which one it is, so I don't get my wires crossed. Alright, so there we go. That's got the plug wired in. Now I just got to figure out a nice little place for it. And then get everything plugged in, get it all put back together. Alright, so instead of using this bracket right here that they supplied with the 2 outlets, I went ahead and made my own bracket, and thanks to Idaho making us change out our license plates every 7 years, I have an abundance of extra license plates. So I've already got it mocked up, got a spot for it to be bolted down. I'm going to put just a little bit of silicone on the bottom of this, so when I do put it down, it'll help with the adhesion to help also keep it from vibrating loose. Come back to you when I got it all wired up and show you the finished product. Alright, there it is. Got my USB charger where I can grab one of my cords. I can plug it in, and I can plug my phone in. I can get a shorter cord. Do that. Show the power for my backup camera. Then I also got up underneath there is where my dash cam resides. I don't need to be seeing the video on it. If something happens, I can always just download it, but at least it's there. So like I say, this is specifically for you know, my truck, the install and everything like that, but you can do this with your vehicle. Just make sure that you're not overloading the circuit. Make sure the circuit can handle it. Like I said, mine, it's a 25 amp breaker on that, or fuse on this, so I know that I can run the dash cam, the rear monitor, plus you know, a couple of cell phones without any problems. And like I say, max I'm going to be drawing is 10 amps off the circuit. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope to see you on the next one.